Welcome to What's the Score, the Blue Room's weekly prediction show, brought to you in association with Fansbet. Now, normally at this point, I'll be sat in some snazzy cafe in town, supping coffee with Matt Jones as we pore over the weekend's fixture and wonder just how much of a mess Everton are going to make of it. But this week, I've been struck down by some mysterious leggy, and so I am in quarantine. The good news is, I've asked a load of people from the Blue Room what they think will happen against Leicester City on Sunday. They've sent me some videos. It doesn't make for particularly positive viewing, but here's what they said.
Hey boys, this week I am dropping the pretense of being anything but absolutely dreading Leicester away on Sunday. I think we're going to get battered, and I'm going to go for 4-1 to Leicester. Maybe 3-1, 4-1. All right, we'll say 4-1 to Leicester. Good luck, Blues. You're going to need
Blues
it.
travel down to Leicester on Sunday afternoon, which is another one of those must-win games for Marco Silva. A lot of Evertonians are surprised that he's still in the job, but he's been handed maybe some short-term confidence by the board in keeping his role at the club. It's crazy to think how much of a divide has been bridged between us and Leicester. They are a team that Everton should want to become and have always looked like becoming, but other teams seem to be doing it more and more often, and Everton are getting left in their wake. I, as always, try and be confident as possible. I just can't see the game going to Everton this week. I think Silva is hanging on for dear life, and I think actually he's been hung out to dry by the Everton board. If they are going to make a decision, they should have just made the decision. It's not as if our dip in form has just happened recently. So I'm going to go with Everton to get beat 3-1. I think we might get a goal through a penalty, maybe Gylfi Sigurdsson.
How's it going? This is Sebastian Vera. Happy Thanksgiving from Texas. With our tendency to play up to the competition and a little desperation thrown in, I say Everton 2, Leicester 2.
Yeah, we're at the start of what is another important week for Everton Football Club as the Blues gear up to go to Leicester City. And probably understandably for a lot of people, I'm feeling pretty bleak about this contest. On our hosts on Sunday first spoke to Pete Selby from the For Fox's Sake podcast earlier this week, and he was very positive about his side and about their prospects going into this match. He said that this is the best Leicester side he's ever seen, and when you consider they won the title in 2016, that's quite a bold statement. Praised Carlos Yunchu, praised Yuri Tielemans, and of course praised Jamie Vardy as well, who's been in excellent form this season. They just look like a really well-oiled outfit who have benefited from a lot of forward planning, exciting young players, and everything seems to be going in the right direction for them at the moment, and you understand why they're second in the league table. When it comes to Everton, it's just difficult to know what we're going to get at all. Marco Silva has been in training with the players this week, although it feels very much like he is a husk of a manager. A night watchman is the analogy I've used a few times this week on the show. And it's hard to see him getting a response from the players as such. I think the only hope Everton have got is if these lads dig in for the manager. They have done in the past, but this is a different kettle of fish against a much higher quality side than the likes of West Ham and Wolverhampton Wanderers. But I just can't see Everton getting out of this one alive. I worry for them if Leicester score early, given their propensity to score a lot of goals. You know, think back to that Southampton 9-0 game, and of course Everton's inability to come from behind in those situations. Unfortunately, all I can see is a Leicester City win. Everton may do enough to get on the score sheet, although Leicester are pretty formidable in defence as well. I think it'll probably be 3-1 to Leicester, and where that leaves us, head of the Merseyside derby, who knows?
What's up, Blues? It's Rob from the Blue Room, here to provide a prediction for this weekend's game. I'm going with Leicester 5, Everton 0, or Zedro, as you guys like to say. It's going to be pretty brutal this weekend, guys. Let's face it, it's going to be a pretty brutal December, but we're going to get through it together.
So it's pretty unanimous there that the Toffees are going to come unstuck at the King Power this weekend. I was looking back at this fixture because I thought our record down there was awful. Every time I think of Leicester, I have these horrible flashbacks to Martin O'Neill's team with Emil Heskey and Muzzy Izzet and Robbie Savage. I just remember us being just being horrible games. But looking back on fixtures since they've been at the King Power, we've actually won 2, drawn 2 and lost 2, which isn't so bad. The last one of those wins was obviously the 2-1 win last season. So to try and cheer us up a little bit and maybe give us a little bit of optimism for the weekend, here's the goal from that game, courtesy of Everton Football Club's official YouTube channel.
Bernard. Floats one in towards Richarlison. Maguire won it. Trissagana-Gay gets it back out to Bernard. Oh, brilliant trickery. And a nice little chip into the penalty area, and Richarlison puts it home. It's Brazilian brilliance, all right. From one to another. Richarlison nets for Everton to send the travelling fans wild. Sigurdsson, well done. Sigurdsson, oh, that is fantastic! A piece of individual brilliance. That is how to win a game. The celebrations in front of the Everton fans. And Gylfi Sigurdsson is a man in form. 2 last week against Fulham. And look at that. Schmeichel clutching at thin air. A brilliant turn away from Maddison. And he then picked his spot. That is some finish.
Gylfi Sigurdsson scoring absolute worldies there, with the Daisy. I just don't know where that player's gone, and I don't know where that Everton team's gone, really. I know it was a bit of an up and down game, and they, at the time, Leicester were a different proposition then. They had Claude Puel in charge, but the fans weren't happy with him. The players weren't happy, and eventually the board weren't happy with him. I think it was after a run of 6 games without a win, including getting knocked out the FA Cup, and they got rid, middle of the season, they just got rid and more importantly, got the man they wanted in. Prized Brendan Rodgers away from Celtic, which, don't forget, he was on his way to another treble with Celtic. He was making history there, and he jibbed him off for Leicester City. Now, people will look at Everton and say, well, they couldn't do that, and they wouldn't do that, but why not? And this is the biggest frustration now. We're left with a manager. I think Matt described him as a husk of a manager, which he is. He's just there in body, really, because, if you've got players who are sort of on the turn or ready to down tools, I'm not saying they are, but if they are, if the manager's in that position where the board have sort of said, oh, we might replace him, what's the motivation for players there? Where's the respect going to be? Because the club's not showing them any respect. They need to come out, and if they're not going to sack him, they need to say, look, he's the manager, give him a vote of confidence. Even if it's purely superficial, this happens all the time, even if it's purely superficial, just come out and say, look, no, he's the manager, be decisive, take some accountability, show some leadership. Now, probably against my better judgment and against what everyone else has said, I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 win this weekend. The reason being is I just think Leicester, they're playing brilliantly this season on a great run of form, but that has got to come to an end, or at least a stall at some point. And I just think we can't go any lower, surely, than Norwich last week. They've got to hit a sticky patch sometime during the season. Sunday will be the perfect time. And then let it carry on through December for a bit, at least until we play them in the League Cup, knock them out of that, and give everyone a lift. We really do need. It could be completely misplaced optimism. It could be the Cavoni and codeine that I've taken, but I do think we'll somehow manage to pull a win round this weekend. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, it's the Fansbet Fansboosted odds. This week we've got Cenk Tosun to score and Everton to win. As unlikely as that sounds, it was 9-1, is now 11-1, so a tenner on that will get you £110 back, which wouldn't be a bad way to round off the weekend. The more likely, Leicester to win 3-1, if you're going by, what the rest of the Blue Room has said. No one's very confident. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin to score, that's 65-1, so a tenner on that will get you £650 back, which will go some way to soften the blow. If you want to put any of those bets on, or put your own bet on, go to fansbet.com, and while you're there, check out some of the fan initiatives they get involved with, so they give 50% of all their profits to fan causes. That's all for this week's What's the Score. Thanks to everyone from the Blue Room who sent videos in. Have a good weekend, whatever you're doing this weekend. Don't forget to catch the Blue Room on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel here if you haven't already. Have a great weekend. Up the toffees.